Hello students, here are the topics which we have covered yesterday and today. So, our first topic is web services. What are web services? These are the services or applications available via web. By using specific protocols, we can access them. For example, chat, video conferencing, social networking, etc. These all services are provided by the sites which are used by us on internet. After that, the first one comes chat. What is chat? Chatting is like a text phone. If you want to chat, you need to log into a server. Whenever any chatting goes on, there is a transfer of messages among two person, and that is done over internet. If you want to chat, then you need to connect to a particular server. Chatting is possible only through chat rooms. We have specific chat rooms through which chatting can be possible. Commonly used types of chats are instant messaging, like we have our messenger, that is your Facebook messenger. You can use them, and these are used to create private chat connections. Second is a ICQ. It is spoken as ICQ. It is a conferencing tool. It uses ICQ program through which you can have a video conferencing, or it can have a voice conferencing also. Multiple people at the same time, they can connect together. Next one is IRC. IRC stands for Internet Relay Chat. As we have relay race into sports, similarly we interact with multiple people at the same time, and they all are connected through a chain. Then the interaction takes place through IRC server. Next one is web-based chat. Web-based chat means we do not have a specific server for this. These all are the chats which are based upon a particular website. A website provides a service for chatting, like if we talk about Google, it provides Gmail, and in Gmail we can have a chatting. Second, it can be like Yahoo Mail. We have Yahoo is a website which provides us Yahoo Mail as the chatting website. So this is your web based chat. After this we have video conferencing. What is video conferencing? Video conferencing means you are able to contact or speak to a person face to face. It is a two-way video phone conversation among multiple participants. It can happen between two people also, or multiple person at the same time, they can also interact. Application areas of video conferencing are business. In businesses, we use video conferencing for meeting purposes. Overseas meetings can be carried out. Then distance learning. Suppose you are not able to present anywhere physically, so you can go at a place, access internet, and then you can have distance learning through video conferencing. Teachers or the lecturers, they are present there to guide you. Next one is legal environment. Suppose you are not somebody is a culprit and he is not able to present physically into court, so using video conferencing, that particular person can be easily shown to the judges and the hearing can go on. So in legal environments also video conferencing are used. Next is media. Everybody knows in media video conferencing are possible, like whenever any kind of discussion goes on any news channel, then we see that person sitting at multiple different places, they are able to interact at the same time. So next one comes telemedicine. Telemedicine means in your hospitals also, in medical field also, we used video conferencing. Through video conferencing, even operations are also successful. Doctors, if they have any query, they can contact to the doctors or the higher authorities or the experts, and then they can seek any advice. After that, we have advantages and disadvantages of video conferencing. What are the advantages of video conferencing? They are meetings can take place without leaving the office. Like if you are sitting at your office and you need to contact a person who is very far away, so you can contact them using video conferencing. Second advantage is travel cost and the time taken to travel can be reduced significantly. It is obviously like You need not to travel, so your time and cost, they both will be saved. Meetings can be called instantly worldwide with little notice. So you just need to send a link, or you just need to notify the person that I need to talk to you, and the person, they will be able to contact you. Then delegates can still attempt meetings even if they are physically unavailable to. Means if you want to talk to a person, if you want to arrange any meeting, then you can have the delegates and the meeting can be possible. These are the advantages. After that comes the disadvantages of video conferencing. First one is may not be as productive as discussion around a table. Like physical presence, obviously it makes a difference, as we see people on video conferencing, or when we see people sitting along us with us on the table, the difference arises in the views also. So there is this is one of the advantages. Second one is confidential documents may need to be viewed and signed in person. So confidential documents, they are need to be viewed, like it is very difficult to get the signature at that time, so they need to be sent to one place to another. So this is also one of the great disadvantage. Next one we have, there will be always times when you need to able to meet face to face. It will be like you will not be able to meet the person face to face at that same time, but sometimes you require to meet through that person. So this is also one of the disadvantages. After that we have various other applications or various other web services like e-learning. What is e-learning? It is web based learning done using internet connection. Uses audio, video, text and virtual environment. Like e-learning, it can be carried out for the students. This is online learning. Students are able or even the students who are not able to go to the colleges and schools, they can have online courses. So this is a very good advantage which is provided by web services. Then we have benefits of e-learning. What are the benefits of e-learning? These are reducing overall cost. The overall cost is reduced. After that we have flexible. Means it is very flexible. Whenever required, according to the need, you can access the e-learning websites. Then this can be easily manageable also. Next one is e-banking. What is e-banking? This is availing all the banking services through electronic measures via internet. Using internet, whatever you were able to do into the banks, you can easily do into the using the internet, and all the banking services, all the transactions can be easily carried out. Now various types of e-banking are PC banking, internet banking, then mobile banking. PC banking means you are using your bank services which you were able to use in the bank on your PC, on your personal computer. Then you have internet banking.